Whenever you see a headline linking a number like $50 billion to names such as Amazon, the Pentagon, and artificial intelligence, public reactions explode with excitement, fear, and speculation. But the real story almost never lives in the noise. It lives quietly behind closed doors where long-term decisions and national priorities are shaped. Amazon's $50 billion commitment through AWS is not about building a flashy chatbot or chasing a trend. It is about constructing the digital railroads, power grids, and high-speed highways of the 21st century, the essential infrastructure that a nation requires to maintain technological dominance. This is not a gamble. It is a strategic investment in becoming an indispensable national utility. When the client involved is the United States Department of Defense, the concept of switching costs reaches a level unmatched anywhere else in the economy. Once the government builds its intelligence systems, surveillance networks, and communication pipelines on a specific cloud infrastructure, reversing that choice would require years of approvals, security checks, and technical reconstruction. With this deal, Amazon is not simply selling software, it is embedding itself into the core machinery of American defense. AWS, already the world's most reliable commercial computing backbone, is now evolving into a sovereign asset that the government cannot function without. This is similar to the early days of electricity when it shifted from a wonder to a utility. AI at the Pentagon scale is not entertainment, but a productivity multiplier and a shield for national security. These data centers are not warehouses of servers. They are the modern industrial factories that convert raw data into intelligence, logistics, and automated defense capabilities. Cyber threats no longer move at human speed. They move at the speed of light, and the Pentagon needs infrastructure that can respond just as fast. AI systems built on Amazon's infrastructure will monitor supply chain disruptions, analyze satellite imagery, schedule maintenance for military equipment, and predict strategic risks, delivering billions in efficiency and operational readiness. The barrier to entry in this domain is not innovation, but capital. Only a tiny handful of companies can afford to build, power, and secure hyperscale data centers at this level. Competitors are not just challenged by Amazon software, but by the physical reality of needing massive real estate, nuclear-level energy supplies, advanced chips, and global fiber networks. This creates a natural oligopoly where Amazon becomes one of the very few platforms capable of supporting a superpower's intelligence ecosystem. As the Pentagon relies more on AWS, more data flows into Amazon systems. More data sharpens the AI models. Sharper models increase reliance, creating a flywheel of trust and capability that is nearly impossible for rivals to interrupt. When the most risk-averse institution in the world trusts Amazon with its most sensitive data, it sends a powerful signal to CEOs, banks, health systems, and global corporations that AWS is not merely secure, it is the standard. The business model resembles a digital toll bridge. Every intelligence report, cyber scan, logistics calculation, and battlefield simulation that passes through the system generates a fraction of revenue. Military operations continue regardless of the economy, making this stream extraordinarily predictable and recession-proof. Beneath the surface lies another critical reality. AI is physically hungry and demands enormous electricity, often comparable to the consumption of entire cities. The true bottleneck for AI is not chips, but power, and Amazon understands that whoever controls reliable energy controls the future of computation. This is why Amazon is positioning data centers near nuclear power plants and securing dedicated lines straight from the source, bypassing the aging public grid. This vertical integration creates a physical moat that money alone cannot instantly replicate. A competitor can raise capital or write code, but they cannot overnight secure gigawatts of power, acquire the necessary land, or obtain the regulatory approvals for massive energy infrastructure. The Internet is becoming a heavy industry that requires steel, concrete, uranium, copper, and physical logistics, and Amazon is approaching its AI investment accordingly. Another overlooked insight is the concept of the anchor tenant. In commercial real estate, the biggest store pays the rent that stabilizes the entire property. In this digital empire, the Pentagon is Amazon's anchor tenant. The U.S. government is effectively funding the most expensive and risky phase of Amazon's technological expansion by paying for the security requirements, scale testing, and infrastructure upgrades needed for national defense. Once Amazon builds these capabilities for the military, it can offer the same reliability and power to private companies at a fraction of the development cost, creating enormous downstream profitability. The strategic alignment is simple. The Pentagon needs speed and can no longer wait a decade to build its own infrastructure, and Amazon needs scale that only a government can fund. What emerges from this partnership is more than a contract. It is a structural transformation in how national power, private enterprise, and technological capability converge. Amazon is not chasing an AI trend. It is building the factories of intelligence, the backbone of digital defense, the pipelines of national security, and the infrastructure that will define America's technological advantage for decades to come. In a world run by computation, the one who controls the compute, the power, and the data does not just participate in the future, they shape it.